Before you scroll away, pause for one moment and ask yourself this question. If someone placed an unlimited credit card in your hand and gave you only 24 hours, what would you do with it? Stay till the end of this story, because what a poor single mother did with a billionaire's credit card left him in tears, and if stories about humanity, kindness, and unexpected miracles touch your heart, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel, because stories like this deserve to be shared. Alexander Whitmore was one of the richest men in the city, a billionaire whose name moved stock markets and silenced boardrooms, yet behind the glass walls of his luxury penthouse, his life was painfully empty. Money had given him everything except peace. His wife had died years ago after a long illness, their unborn child lost with her, and since that day Alexander had buried his emotions under work, numbers, and control. Late nights were his routine, silence his only companion. On a rainy afternoon, his black luxury car stopped at a red light in a poor neighborhood he never visited by choice, and that was when he noticed a woman standing outside a small grocery store, holding the hand of a little boy. She looked exhausted but dignified, her clothes worn yet clean, and in her other hand was a simple cardboard sign that read, "Single Mother. Hungry Child." Alexander looked away at first, as he always did, but then the boy began to cough, a deep, painful cough that echoed through the closed windows of the car and straight into Alexander's chest. The mother gently pulled the boy closer, trying to shield him from the cold rain, and something inside Alexander broke. He rolled down the window and asked quietly how long they had been standing there. The woman hesitated before answering, her voice calm but heavy with truth. 2 days since we last ate properly. There was no begging in her tone, no drama, just honesty. Alexander reached for his wallet, then stopped, pulled out his sleek black credit card instead, and handed it to her. "Take this," he said. "Use it for 24 hours. No limit. Tomorrow, I'll come back here at the same time." The woman stared at the card in shock, her hands trembling. "I can't take this. I don't even know your name," she whispered. "You don't need to," Alexander replied. "Just do what you need to do." The light turned green, the car drove away, and Rosa Martinez stood frozen in the rain, holding a card that could change her life but also test her soul. That night, Rosa did not go shopping for luxury or comfort. The first place she took her son Mateo was a small diner, where for the first time in a long while, she ordered food without checking the prices. Mateo drank warm soup, ate bread slowly, and looked at his mother with wide eyes. "Mom, are we rich now?" he asked softly. Rosa smiled through tears and said, "No, my love. We're just surviving." After that, she bought only what was necessary: clean clothes for her son, medicine from the pharmacy because Mateo suffered from untreated asthma, and then she went straight to a hospital. She paid for a full medical examination, tests, and advanced treatment, and when the doctor told her that without proper care her son's condition could have become life-threatening, Rosa locked herself in the bathroom and cried silently, realizing how close she had been to losing him. She spent the night at the shelter where they were staying, and before the 24 hours ended, she went to one last place, a small learning center for underprivileged children. She made a donation large enough to keep it running for 2 more years. When asked why she would give money away when she herself had nothing, Rosa answered simply, "Because someone opened a door for my child. I want to open a door for others." The next day, when Alexander returned to the same traffic light, he was prepared for disappointment, convinced the card would be maxed out on luxury and impulse. Rosa approached him calmly and handed the card back. "I used it all," she said, placing a small envelope of receipts in his hand. Alexander's jaw tightened as he looked through them: grocery bills, hospital payments, medicine, shelter rent, and donations, not a single purchase for Rosa herself. His hands began to shake, his eyes filled with tears he hadn't allowed himself to shed in years. "Why didn't you buy anything for yourself?" he asked quietly. Rosa met his eyes and replied, "Because I am poor, not selfish." In that moment, Alexander realized that all his wealth had never taught him what this woman knew instinctively: that true richness was measured by how much good you could do for others. That day changed his life. He didn't just help Rosa and Matteo financially, he ensured Matteo received full medical care, offered Rosa a stable job within his company's social programs, and slowly, without realizing it, allowed himself to feel again. Months later, when Matteo ran into his arms and called him uncle, for the first time, Alexander Whitmore understood why he had cried that night in his penthouse, not from sadness, but from gratitude. This story is not about money changing lives, but about hearts choosing compassion, because when wealth meets integrity, it doesn't just transform circumstances, it restores humanity.